Look at this lovely day that we're having. Welcome to Djuma, everybody. Welcome to our PM Safari. My name is Mark. We're about to head out and see what we can find for you this afternoon. We had a wonderful morning, lots of different things this morning, and hopefully we can keep that up this afternoon. Impala here, zebra further down to the other side of the open area. But we're going to head out. I think what we're going to do is start with maybe going up towards Sandy Patch. What's it called? Nyala Road South. I'm seeing there's a mark on the lens. It must have been from the rain this morning. There's a mark. I'm sure Tara will sort that out for you. We're going to go up Sandy Patch. No, I said it again. Spaghetti Junction, Nyala Road South. See where those elephant went to. And I would like to try and get back to see that little leopard that we saw this morning, because I'm sure there are a lot of you who weren't with us this morning that are here on our afternoon drive. We saw a leopard that we've never seen before, and it was a youngster. He's a little bit smaller than our two youngsters, and this is Nkanyeni's cub that was up on Cheetah Cutline, roundabout Cheetah Cutline, Buffelshoek Junction. So let us go and find some toys. Toys, children, animals, plants, flowers. Sunny day like this, after a little bit of rain, flowers be good. So Yako is helping us out this afternoon. Yeah, it's from that driving. We did try and put that thing away as quick as possible with the rain this morning, but it got quite wet. Oh look, here's a nursery group of baby impala, except there's only one in the nursery group. Can you call it a nursery group if there's only one baby?
Sounds good.
Thanks, Yako. Rose, if you're watching, Rose sent me a video clip of a leopard and an impala, and she said they were playing. I got bad news for you, Rose. But if you're watching, I'd like to know so that I can tell you about it. Hello, baby. Looking at us now, huh? I hope you make it to adulthood. Those birds I don't have, because we've tried on a number of occasions. Every time we start up trying to find those birds, see, now I've said so and they've gone. I don't think I have them on my list. Then there's that other one up on Zoe's Road that I saw this morning I want to go and find. Ah, there, can you see it?
Sorry?
That bird. Base of that tree. La na 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 na. I think I've got to catch up. I think Tara's way ahead of Seb and myself, and of course.
No, I don't think I am here. I think Seb's way ahead of us too.
Well, now's our chance to catch up.
I've got a question, because I had this the other day and someone sent through the answer but we didn't get to saying it. Does that count?
You have a question? Someone sent the answer. What's that?
I had this bird the other day.
Yeah.
Someone sent the answer, but I don't think we got round to saying it. Does it count?
As long as you can verify it with somebody else. Who was the someone that sent it through?
I forget. It was on questions.
Yeah, we can give it to you. it would appear that I have lost my pen. It's almost uncanny how pens walk in Africa. Yeah, I'll use this one in the meantime. Okay. Okay, go. And who's that from, Yoko? Hey Ruffy. Shalom. Ruffy's asking about Nkanyeni's cub. Has got a name yet, and who will name it and when? Not to my knowledge, not yet. Who will name it? I don't know. When will they name it? I don't know. Haven't the faintest idea, Ruffy. It will be possibly one of the Djuma guides, because they're the ones that see it the most. It could possibly be one of the landowners up on Buffelshoek, because that's where it lives the most. And when it will be, I doubt whether it will be in the next week or so. And thereafter, well, sadly, we will never know. Although maybe eventually somebody might get around to putting it on Leopards of Sabi Sands, but unfortunately, with what's happening here, I doubt whether it'll even get named. I don't know if some of you saw, I don't know who was zooming earlier today, between about 12 and 2. Pete and I were busy at the dam cam. Pete remotely, me physically there. I was backwards and forwards all the time, changing transformers and all sorts of things, switching it on. I managed to try and switch the lights off to see if they were interfering with the sound, and everything we did, we still couldn't isolate where it is and what it is that is causing that humming sound. So this evening we're going to have to make a plan. We're going to try a DC input instead of the AC input, and well, that'll happen tomorrow. But it is quite puzzling for all of us what it is that is causing that electronic interference, the buzzing. We seem to have stopped it for a second, but we don't know what it is that made it stop. We're going to go through Philemon's Dip maybe. I suppose we ought to do a little trip around Treehouse Dam. Any stations mobile? Morning. It's morning somewhere in the world. Most of us are in their morning. I don't even know who that was.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening.
Morning, good afternoon, good evening. That one that Patrick had on his ringtone.
No, it was that Jim Carrey movie. Truman Show.
Oh, Truman Show.
It says something like good morning, good afternoon in case I don't see you, good night or something like that.
That sounds similar to what Patrick had for his ringtone. We heard it so many times, I'm surprised I can't remember it, because we heard it so many times it started becoming quite irritating. But that was a South African comedian, not Jim Carrey. Truman Show. Anybody remember? What was he saying? Good morning, good afternoon, something? While we're driving around, we have a new influx of postcards. Not many, only 3. I thought there were 4. I might have dropped one. Only problem is that they printed this one upside down. New York. I wonder how to pronounce that. Finger Lakes Wine Country. You know, I didn't even know they grew wine in New York. Finger Lake, I see why they're called the Finger Lakes. Keuka Lake, Penn Yan is surrounded by scenic beauty, beautiful harvest, grapes grown on picturesque hillsides, all in New York State and known through the world. Well, now they're known here in Sabi Sands. October 18th. Almost a month it took from New York. Thanks, Ed. Our very own special Ed P. That looks like a grove of oak trees. Maybe they're maples. I'm going to have to look at Google Maps, Google Earth, to get an idea of that. Western New York State. Thank you, Ed. I was gonna go. Oh, here's a big tortoise was walking here. But not recently. Right now, if I can dip my hand into the magic box, pull out another one. When I first saw this one, I thought of Teresa. But Teresa doesn't live in Cincinnati. Cincinnati Zoo and Botanical Garden. That's quite a magic person, this on the picture. How humans can view these things as mere animals, I don't know why we don't see them just as another race of humans. Okay, let's go to Treehouse Dam, actually. By the by, might as well. But it wasn't. Now this one, the picture was the right way around, but the writing was upside down. But thank you, Robert. Robert Wright from Cincinnati, Ohio. Thanks, Robert. And this, has he got a name? No, just image number 40374. I'm sure they've given him a name though. And this hasn't even been stamped. This made it all the way, and there's no postmark on it. there's just this barcode thing that you get in the States, and that shows that it's been through some postal service. That's quite interesting. I don't know if philatelists, if it has any meaning to them, but it hasn't been stamped. Unstamped postcard. And then I'll keep the other one until we turn around and are coming back facing east, because now we're facing into the sun. Huh. So, Jaco, did we get any answers on that bird? Okay, Roy was wrong. Redbull Park was right. Thanks, Laura. Red Bull Buffalo Weaver. Sorry, Roy. But Roy said Red Bull Oxpecker. You just saw the Red Bull. And Karen also. Thanks, Karen.
Okay, copy. Thanks. I'll just check budget
Henry, I'm checking around Treehouse Dam.
Okay, copy. Thanks much. Thank you.
Then I want to go along towards Nyala Road South, look for those in Bloor from this morning, but there's been in Bloor with Treehouse.
Okay, copy.
Let me know if you find anything on Batalia and Konzo Wise.
Maybe I will let you know if I find something.
Thank you. Elephant's headed. Sorry, what's that, Graham? There were some tracks heading down towards Philemon's Dip, but they're probably from this morning. I'll let you know if I find any of them. Yeah, terrapin. Terrapin's on the edge of the water at the moment. I'm going to change my mind. Elephants came in here and they could possibly have been the elephants from this morning. So we're going to go up towards Spum Road and do a loop around. We'll do it like a figure 8 kind of thing. Spum Road and then come back to Treehouse Dam. Raptor that just flew away. So it sounds like Graham was trying to find Kanyeni's youngster. Couldn't find him. So don't need to rush up that way to look. Nduna was still in the same place this morning, and Karula was up on Impala Plains. And I'd like to get up there a little bit. I'd like to get there for sunset. Okay, sorry. Purple, sorry. Never heard. Tom in Alabama. I've never heard of it. What's the African purple swamp fin? Never heard of it. I haven't. Purple swamp fin. Okay, Tom, you're gonna have to help me out here. Where did you come across that name? In what context? I've really never heard it before. Heard it or heard of it. Oh, there you are. But this is a bull making his way back to the dam. He's walking fast. Jumbo Rafiki Tembo Takwenda Mati. No, what's the word? Maji. Mati in Swahili, Maji in, no, Mati in Changan, Maji in Swahili. Okay, our best bet is to turn around rather than try and reverse. We'll follow him. Looks like he's quite determined to get down to the water. He's got, look at this gait. I love it when elephant gets close to the water and they start this swinging gait. It's incredible. Almost running. One Madodontlov west to Trias heading towards the dam. This would be a good test to see if that's what he's actually aiming for. I don't think he's in must. He's the dude with that broken left tusk. Well, I don't know if he's the same one, but that must have hurt because that tusk broke just at the upper lip, so the nerve would have been exposed. And I'd like, at some point when it gets to stop at the water, we might be lucky enough to get a closer look at it.
Afternoon, intersection mobile from Vietnam.
Oh, so Graham was looking for Induna, not Kanyani's cub. And Induna's gone, finally left the place that he's been for the last 2 days. Don't know if we're going to be able to squeeze through here. I hope we can. I just had to drop the aerial. But the idea is to stay west of him as he comes down to the water. We'll try and sit in the shade of this marula tree. The marula tree that once held the treehouse that gave this dam the name Treehouse Dam. Can't wait to get to the water. The mud, more like it. Hey, this camera is falling apart. What, you mean that's it? Surely then, surely not. I don't know if we have seen him before. That's quite a sheer break in his tusk. I'll have to check my archives. We're probably going to go further up to the dam, maybe drink there where he hasn't been spraying mud. Thought he'd, yeah, just tasting the water now, not quite drinking. Okay, we're going to move up. He seems to be on some sort of mission this afternoon. I'm wondering if it doesn't have anything to do with females. If it does, then he's going to take us to that breeding herd that we saw this morning. Oh, something got in my throat. Globe now heading east from Treehouse Dam towards Weaver's Nest. she's heading in an almost perfectly straight line. Coming past the dam was just incidental. There's quite an elephant path that is on there, probably elephant and hippo. I'd say more elephant because it's not really shaped like a hippo path. Ah, purple swamp, but that's a gallinule. The purple swamp hen. It could be Tom, you're talking about the purple gallinule, the swamp hen. We would be exceptionally lucky to get a purple gallinule here. I think we've had red-knob coots and moorhens. Oh. Now I know what you're talking about. Swamp hen, not swamp fen. I misunderstood earlier. I don't know where it is now. Okay, you're breaking up a bit. It's a bad signal area here. What different plants can what eat? Okay, you have to bear with me, Jakob, because I'm not copying you very well. And who was that question from? Oh, from William. Thank you, William. Hello, William. What different plants and trees do elephants eat? William, I'd say probably around about 80 to 90% of what we see here, in some form or another. I found a new flower, a new tree flowering. Here's the silver cluster leaf with its new flowers. I won't go forward, I might put it in the shade, but they're not exceptionally good. I mean, they're not fantastic flowers, but they are flowers nonetheless. Can't quite smell them yet, but when they start coming into flower in profusion, we're going to start smelling them on a much larger scale. And it can be a little bit pungent. The smell of...
A little bit.
A little bit. For some of us, a lot.
I wouldn't mind that that's one of the few smells that I can actually smell.
It's nowhere near as bad as the Terminalia spinosa that you get up in East Africa. That grow as big as these marula trees with a big flat crown, and when they flower, it's hard to drive through those areas. Bit of a sour smell. I mean, here's a plant that technically nothing really should eat it because it's very high in tannins. The leaves are a little bit velvety, yet elephants do eat them. They get to the roots, they get to the bark, and they will eat leaves, but not in great numbers. They do eat leaves a little bit. Terminalia sericea, and when you find the genus of a plant called sericea, it alludes to the silvery leaves of the plant, because we also have Dicrostachys. No, that's not sericea, that's Cinerea. What else is sericea? Mandulia sericea. The silver corkbush. I must think of other sericeas. There he goes, just crossing the road ahead of us now. Keep more or less the same pace as him, we can keep up with him. Glove has just crossed Weaver's Nest, still heading east. We're still north of Elephant Skull. He's going to come out at Chelapan. And I'm guessing at the rate that he's walking and the purpose that he has is that he's aiming for other elephants. Now that I said that, he's slowed down somewhat. He's about to walk underneath those trees that we saw in Duna with that other kill, the last time we saw in Duna with a kill. By the time we get around there, we'll be coming out on the other side of those pans on Chelapan Road. But we're just going to follow him for a little bit. Elephants have probably got one, William, question by the way. Elephants probably got one of the most diverse diets of any animal, most varied diets of any animal. Because they're able to feed on any part of the plant, and more than that, they actually need to feed on every part of the plant. Anything from roots, barks, no. Getting like Patrick now. Roots, bark, branches, leaves, flowers, fruits. They eat grasses, they eat bulbs, tubers. There he is, going past those marula trees now where the kill was. They have, well, I suppose I've said it, an exceptionally varied diet. And I have no doubt, although I can't really prove it with any conviction, that some plants they use medicinally. But when they just take a little bit of bark from one thing, then it's obvious that it's not necessarily for food or for its taste. Come on, Tembo, I'm waiting for you. Now, those are the marula trees where Nduna had to kill. So it wasn't the other two that I saw. We could wait here all day for him. My last sighting him, he was still walking this way. And at that pace he should be here by now. How to lose an elephant. Assume where he's going. There he is. coming straight for Chelapan. I think he might go to Gari Dam actually. You can see his pace has slowed down considerably. Almost like he's sleepwalking now. Manodant Lov na Chelapan. He hasn't altered his course from when we first saw him on the other side of Treehouse Dam. He's just heading straight towards Nyala Road South, Vulture's Nest. Almost as if he knows there's no water here at Chelapan. Tight squeeze.
Just watch out for that branch.
That one. Hello Julie. Julie's asking if rhino go into the water like buffalo and hippo in the hot season, in the summer months. Maybe like buffalo, not so much like hippo, Julie. But yes, I have often seen rhino lying up in water on the edge of the dams, just like buffalo. New branch come off of this. This might be from the wind, from this buffalo thorn. I mean this jackalberry. Too high to have come off from an elephant bringing it down. Tracks of the herd. There he goes. Very short, fat tusks. Probably in his early 30s. This is the vulture tree, isn't it?
Yeah.
Beautiful jackalberry, magnificent specimen. Got to be close to anywhere from 600 to 800 years old, I'd say. Oh, beautiful tree. I wonder who that was intended for. Certainly not me. Oh, missed that shot. He's heading into places I can't follow him. So we're going to continue and go up along Nyala Road South. Still see if we can find any sign of those other ellies. But I'll try and sneak up.
You looked at your screen then, didn't you?
I did.
Amazing how much is ingrained there.
I know. Yeah. Turn the key and look at the screen. The screen that's not on. We could easily catch him on Vulture's Nest again. Well, I don't know, there might actually be a little pathway up here to the road. If I remember correctly. As soon as I get my camera pointed at that broken tusk, he turns his head. Old vulture feather. I want a new vulture feather. directly into the sun, but one of the adult vultures has just returned to the nest. I just saw its shadow. I don't know, did you see its shadow? For a minute there I thought that we had disturbed the vulture, but I was quite sure that we wouldn't. The tree is so tall and the nest so high, and they...
There's no one on there when we approached.
No.
Right in the nest.
But that youngster not fly. I don't believe that youngster could be flying yet. But if the adults just come back, that means that adult might have brought some food. Now vultures don't bring food back the way eagles do in their talons. Vultures bring it back in their crop. I'm not seeing a very full crop either. Yeah,
There
yeah.
it is.
It's still much smaller than the adult.
So it must have been the two adults I saw the other day then.
Yeah.
Side by side.
The reason why one of them was so much whiter than the other, because the rain had washed it clean.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. It just looked more fluffy.
It did.
So how long was it since the last one? Was it about 4 or 5 months? When it was fledged? It was about 4 or 5 months, wasn't it?
And it was flat. No, it was only when we first noticed it.
No, last year.
Oh, last year.
Yeah, it must have been about 4 or 5 months.
Yeah. And it's a little movement underneath that adult. Okay, let's turn around, come back to eating, because we're going to follow him. He's maybe even heading to Buffelshoek Dam now. He's on a straight line mission. And he is kind of going in a direction I would like to go anyway. Hello Minerva. Is a jackleberry tree a berry tree, or is that just the name? Well, it's not a berry tree like the berries, like blueberries or strawberries or raspberries or blackberries or those berries. It is, however, it does have a fruit, and it is called a berry, but it's not a true. I don't know what classifies something as a berry. I want to show you something. So, yeah, my earpiece is out at the moment. Down here on the ground, I'm doing a whodunit. Someone was eaten. Here's somebody's clothing that came out in the dung. Can even see the teeth marks. And here the bones of this person. No, I'm kidding. I think it's purely coincidental that there's this dung here, predator dung, at the same place. I actually know what this is. It looks a little bit familiar. If I'm not mistaken, the Jigger used to have this kind of seat cover. 100% nylon, flame retardant. Nylon is flame retardant? Made in the UK. Anyways, piece of cloth. But, however, there is some very old dung here. I touched it with my hands because it is so old, because it's been rained on for a couple of seasons. But all that is left are bits of bone, bits of hair, and hoof. I could grind these down and sell them to the Chinese. So, who was it? Who dung it? And if you give it to me and I can explain it, or I can tell you about it. There's a who dung it for you, just between you and me here. Do you know who that is?
No.
Neither do I.
I was going to say, the snail account for being so cool.
No, I think that's it.
It's rather an unusual one. It's like a piece of spaghetti.
Lucho. This morning it was Lucho. But yeah, we will come back and check again.
Okay, wait, where's my earpiece? Jaco might be wanting to talk to me. Ordinarily I wouldn't touch the other dung if it was still remotely fresh, but there's nothing much in it other than hair and bone and hoof now. Gives you an idea, some idea of an animal that eats other animals but doesn't digest hair or bone or other keratinous products. The bone, however, has been etched by stomach acid, so it does have strong acid, but not as strong as other animals that are able to digest hair and bone. And now I've probably lost the elephant for good this time. No, there he is. It's slowed down, so maybe, I don't know, maybe he's getting close to the cows and the calves. I mean, this is where we saw the cows and calves this morning. I don't expect them to still be in the same place. They're not likely to do so. Any station interested in is in Glove. He is now close to the big torchwood on vulture's nests. I'll be leaving the lock shortly, open lock. In fact, he's almost the same spot where that giraffe died. But perhaps we ought to say goodbye to him. He's not even doing much now. Not even for an elephant who was marching at such a pace. Now we get to see that tusk. Can you see him through there? Not really. He's moving bits of dried wood. Both tusks are broken. That's why his right tusk is also so short and stubby. Okay, we'll stop here and he will come into view again. I think we have seen him before. See, as soon as I focus on his he hides them behind a tree. I'm gonna get a photo. I'm sure I've got him on film already. Come this way, Bwana Tembo. He's a couple of bones here on my right, so he might actually get to where more of these giraffe bones are. I don't know if he'd do anything about it. Oh, he's coming the wrong side of us now. Alright, well, I'm gonna follow him because that's where the giraffe carcass is. I'm just interested if he even takes notice of the bones, because if it was elephant bones, he more than likely would. He's stopping where they are. Leg bones, a lot more bones to the right, not so much where he is now. Most of the bones are just off to our right a few yards. No, I'm not interested. Okay. He will be appearing at Gari Dam sometime this afternoon. But right now, going back into the drainage line. And we'll leave him be. You could get that lizard, but I don't know if you can. Unfortunately, I'm parked in the sun, giving it shade. Can you see that little solanum plant?
Yeah.
Just a couple of inches this way towards me, on the right hand side of that stick. Just turned his head looking at you. But sadly, too close for me to focus with binoculars. It's a youngster. See it?
Plant, you say the little stick next to the plant?
Yeah. 3 inches directly towards me from that little solanum. Just his head sticking out. Of course, could be a her. Can't tell from here.
I can't see any. I don't know if we're just at a slightly odd angle to you.
No, should be even better for you because I've got grass in the way. But if you get to the stick,
Yeah,
to the
I'm on
left
stick.
of the solanum, and then just come straight down towards you along the stick, you should see its head sticking out on the right of the stick.
I think I've got it, but it's not a great view.
Uh,
Oh, okay. Now I see what you're looking at. I was looking a little bit higher. Okay, yeah, no, we have got it. Yeah, I just moved his head now. Stay still.
okay, any budding herpetologists out there, welcome to send me the answer. Let me see if it's on the list. It should be on the list, it's quite a common one. Yes, it is there. Giraffe leg bones. Yeah. A lot of other bones lying here on the left. Some of them have been moved by a human named Mark when he was showing you bones before. Still don't know what happened to the head of this giraffe. Still would have loved to have seen it. So Sandy, hello Sandy, was asking me, when an elephant's tusk breaks, would it need to be crowned or would it need a prosthesis? Oh look, Lily's starting to grow now. I suppose technically, well, it depends on how far up it breaks. The way his tusks are broken, they probably could have done with a little bit of a capping. Of course, with 15,000 elephants, you can't do things like treating them. Elephant breaks its tusk. Tough luck, dude. Have to lower the antenna getting through the trees here. Interesting fungi growing on that knobthorn. When we look at his left tusk and how far down it is broken, I'm just trying to find my fungus book. That would have hurt, definitely, because the nerve would have been exposed. So I suppose theoretically, go away fly, theoretically he would have needed some, well not need, if he was in captivity, he would have needed some help. Okay, I don't know what's happened to my fungus book. There it is, mushroom book. Sulfur shelf fungus, I don't know. Go away, fly. For what? Ground you. Orange tuft? Nah, not really an orange tuft. Because they have caps. This mushroom does not have a cap. could be orange polypore fungus. My book is not very comprehensive. Still waiting for another book. Okay, but a very important process in nature to break down the wood of dead trees. Termites are not going to do it, then fungi and other insects will. Because essentially it's all got to be broken down. It's all got to be returned to the soil to feed everything else. Sorry, Wattle, if I bumped you. Bye, elephant. Thank you for your time. You can thank me for mine. That was a song. Thanks for your time, and you can thank me for mine. Somehow Billy Joel comes to mind. See, the tusk will continue to grow, although it grows from the root. So those stumps will eventually spread further away from his door. The nerve's probably deadened at the end there now, I suppose. If we could have got a closer look, especially at that, I think it was his left. His left tusk was so short, broken right at the lip. We got a closer look at that, we would have seen a hole where the nerve ending, where the nerves would have been, where the core of the tooth is. I don't know who's zooming, but if whoever's zooming, please let us know when he gets to the dam. Hoping dam cam is up. I did leave it with power on and everything. Switched everything on again when I was done. Got a couple of mild shocks. A little bit of a 220 volt wake up call. And of course you only have to touch something once. Normally. If you mark, you touch it a second time. Anybody answer my dung question, Jaco? Bonnie was wrong, Linda was right. Linda said lion, Bonnie said hi, and Tom said leopard. Thank you, everyone. And Linda was right with lion dung. I haven't really known leopard dung to show as much hair as lion dung. And I haven't really known leopard to consume the hoof as much as lion do, and as much bone as lion. In particular, the long bone, well, I suppose it was an impala, so it could have been, but the ends of long bones are very difficult to chew for a leopard. The joints. But yes, old lion dung. turned into a really beautiful afternoon. Cleared the sky, the sun. There are clear skies, not a cloud to be seen. What is that that's rattling? Something metal. Hello boys and okay, I don't seem to have this on my list, so I'm going to require an ID, because I haven't the faintest idea what these animals are. Never seen them before. I also haven't been keeping track, like Tara, of how many drives I've done. Right, we need that one. We're not going to get that one. We need that one. We need that one. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. Sure. At least 15 mammals that I seem to have not ticked off on my list that are potential easy targets. This was one of them. On we go. Bye boys. Nobody did anybody guess on my reptile? Lizard, which isn't really a lizard. Well, it's lizard family. But I said lizard because I didn't want to give it away, and I wanted to throw a red herring into the works. Welcome to the jungle. Going to drive me insane. I think we're going to take Central Road East now. I don't think we'll make it to Impala Plains for sunset. We'll be up in the east for sunset. Interesting. Gonna see the size of that track. Mampimpan. And Leela and MJ, Miss Bradley. Did I ever tell you my grandmother's initials were M. Bradley? Myra. MJ and Lynn in Canada gave me but what kind of buffalo did they say it was, Jaco? I think we can live with that. African buffalo. I'm glad you didn't say water buffalo. Thank you for that. La na 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 na. Sinceros. Maybe it should be called the sincere buffalo. Oh, hello Roy, close but no cigar. Roy was saying striped skink. No, it wasn't. Well, I've got lots of common striped skinks. That is, if I'm not mistaken, Mabuya striata. Mabuya, the skinks. The best skink I've ever had an experience of living with is the thick-necked skink. Or is it the short-necked skink? Fat-necked. It's a skink that has a very, but it's huge. They're the biggest skinks I've ever seen. Up in East Africa, had one living outside my tent. Used to see it every day. But I can never forget the first day I saw it. I think my reaction to seeing that skink would be like some people's reaction to seeing wild dog for the first time. You see, for me, I've seen wild dogs since I was 2-3 years old, so I've never had a wow moment. Every time I see wild dog, it's a wow moment. But I've never had this realization that it's the first time I'm seeing an animal like a wild dog. But I can only imagine that my reaction to seeing that skink in Tanzania was much like some people might see their first leopard or wild dog or honey badger or pangolin. It was this big, close on a foot long, and I had no idea. I knew it was a skink. I mean, it looked like a skink, but I had no idea that skinks could get that big. And then I looked in my now disappeared reptile book to read up about it. One of the questions we had, or rather one of the answers I had on that lion dung, was that it was hyena dung. This is what hyena dung looks like most of the time, 99% of the time when it's aged. It's just a powder, but it comes out as a paste, almost like a greenish white paste when it is squeezed out of the animal. And it dries pure white, and when it is crushed like it is on the left there by a vehicle, it's just a white lime calcium powder. I wouldn't recommend eating it though as a calcium supplement, although I have heard it has been used, perhaps cleaned. But what you're seeing there is the digested bone and hair and everything else that comes out as a paste. Okay. Hello Karen. Is a dik-dik the same as a bushbuck? No. You could probably fit about 4 dik-diks or 5, maybe even 6 dik-diks into a bushbuck. Dik-dik is like this big, and a bushbuck is much bigger. But a bushbuck belongs to the spiral horned antelope family, the same as the kudu and the nyala. And it's very large. It's got a much deeper body. Not as large as the nyala. I'd say your average, male bushbuck would probably be about the same size as an impala ram, just a different shaped body. Whereas a dik-dik is only marginally bigger than 2 guinea fowls standing next to each other. And we don't get dik-dik here. Dik-dik occur only in 2 parts of Africa. Up in East Africa and a small section of Namibia. So we're on Cheetah Cut Line, by the way, ambling north. No. Thanks, Danina, but definitely not, because we don't get them here. Red-headed Rokagama. We don't get here. Is it on the list even? I can't believe it would be on the list. Can't be on the list. But no, it's not an agama. It's quite a small lizard. That. Okay, there's the birds. There's the frogs. Those are geckos. Because we only really get one agama here. Although they've got tropical spiny agama. I didn't even know there was such a thing. Was that maybe what we saw the other day? That one, when we saw those striped skinks on that tree and we had one lizard at the base of the tree when you were driving.
I did have a look at the picture and I can't remember what it is now. What's your checklist then?
It says something about a spiny agama.
No, the picture got sent.
I bought a new reptile book. Sadly, it's not the East African reptile book. I'll try and find that one, but boy, that one is expensive. I mean, at the time I bought it, I paid 5,000 shillings, 5,500 shillings for it.
Jones is girdled lizards.
Jones is girdled.
It looked fairly similar to that picture that somebody sent me.
I'm just looking at its tail, I thought it was a girdled, but I mean, a lot of the girdled lizards have more spines on their body than that one seemed to have, but it definitely wasn't a skink.
No, it definitely wasn't a skink.
It was also too big for any of the skinks that we had.
Or an agama.
No, it wasn't a gama.
Or a sandfeld.
No, it wasn't a sandfeld lizard either. There are a couple of discrepancies on the list, and I think one of the reasons why I came up with this was to maybe try and do something about those discrepancies, to update the list. We would have to continue the list for a long time without the sort of challenge that we're doing, just to keep updating it, to make sure that some of the things that we have on the list, but I guess that's not going to happen, is it? We didn't know this was going to happen when we decided to do this list thing. Trying to think, red-headed rock agama. Where does the... We do get... oh, look, there's... I haven't got my list, I can't say what it is. One of our summer visitors from Central Africa. Where did you go, mister? The sun is going to be in the wrong place. Tara had one on her drive and it was such perfect light. Yeah. At home I have them at my bird bath outside my front door every day. And their call is just so beautiful. It's like the softest. I can't do it. No, Roy, no striped gecko. Wasn't a gecko. We only have one diurnal gecko, and we've got it already. The Cape dwarf gecko. The rest of the geckos we'd have to find at night. And even then we'd have a greater chance of finding them around buildings. Geckos have this uncanny ability to know which side of their... I was going to say which side of their bread is buttered. But since they don't eat bread and butter, they just know to come to the lights at night. But I've had geckos that not only come to the lights at night, but they live on mesh on windows, or just off the mesh on windows. And they'll use the mesh on a window or a screen door, almost like a spider uses a web. And as soon as an insect starts bouncing against the mesh, they sit on the mesh with one toe, or a couple of toes, and they feel it. And then they go and catch it. Hello, Spene. Got you on my list, little Dacre. But we might come back for that. We're on the fire break. We've just turned off of Cheetah Cut Line, heading west. And we're going to have a look at Apple Leaf Tree a little bit further down the road. But on the way there, we're going to keep our eyes out just in case. Just in case. There's a little boy here. Hi there, Sue. What is the size of prey that a wild dog can take down, subdue? Depends. Surely you would have known that I would have started that answer with depends. Depends on how many wild dogs. Single wild dog, up to maybe Impala, maybe Nyala. Pack of wild dogs, wildebeest, zebra, kudu. I think you might even find they might have even taken down a buffalo. Okay, so this is the apple leaf where he was. Mom might have come and collected him. I haven't seen any tracks in the road. Oh, that idiot. Afternoon. Ninja. Hello there. Hi everyone.
How you doing?
Good, and you? He was in that apple leaf this morning, that one back there. But then it started to rain and I had to leave.
In Duna?
No, in Duna is on Gary Cutline.
Who was in there?
Kanyani's little boy.
Oh. Okay.
But she might have come to fetch him.
Gary Cutline.
Past Pippleshoek Dam, the one that goes down to Central Road just before the lodge. Where that big Jackalberry is.
Yeah.
As you get onto this fire break, if you can, well, I wouldn't suggest staying on the fire break. I'd suggest going back onto the cut line. And when you come back onto the fire break, the corner of the fire break and Gary cut line, just on the right, you'll see where all the vehicle tracks are. But I think Graham was there, couldn't see him, unless there's been an update lately.
Yeah, apparently he wasn't there this morning, but Graham saw him again this afternoon. Something like that.
Have they picked up Karula again?
Not that I know of, no.
Okay.
Alright. Keep well,
Enjoy,
eh?
you too.
You're going to continue this way, then we'll head back up that way.
I haven't decided yet.
Oh.
Are you going to go look for Induna?
Yeah, we will.
Oh, then you, off you go.
Thanks, bye.
I'll figure it out. I might take Jack's Road. Go back towards Whipple's Dam.
Alright. Thanks, eh? Have a good afternoon.
Bye. Have a lovely time.
Bye-bye.
I could go walking in there just to have a look. I could go and stroll around. Problem is, with the young leopard, if Mom's around, she might not take kindly to that. And might push him deeper into the bush. So I think it might be prudent to just, if we don't see him, we don't see him. We were very, very, and I'll say it again, very lucky this morning. The weather wasn't exactly on our side. As we got here, it started raining. The camera got quite wet. Although it's not showing any signs of being affected by the rain. But we shut it down very quickly and put it away after we got a good view of that little boy. Who knows, maybe he got thirsty. Maybe Mom picked him up and took him for a drink of water. Aha, RC, not just a good birder, but a budding herpetologist. The variable skink, Mabuya varia, is what it was. Well done, RC. It was a youngster actually, but still. The variable skink, I don't know why they call it a variable skink. I don't know what's so variable about it. Because every variable skink that I've seen looks pretty much the same. And I haven't been able to find out as yet why, but then I haven't looked very hard. But yes, thanks RC. Who are you? flew away. You still see him through there?
Oh no, not really.
I don't think I've got it on my list. I'm trying to capitalize now on these last few drives. Storks, eagles, kestrels, francolins, coots, cuckoos. Okay. And oh wow, that is an interesting bird. White on the wings, white at the base of the tail, being mobbed by everything.
You see like run.
I think it's landed in that tree, but it's directly into the sun. Wow. I don't know if we're going to get to see any markings or anything distinctive on it, because it is kind of looking into the sun. Do you see where it is?
Yeah, it's trying to help us.
We can try from here, and I don't know how much. Maybe hiding the sun behind those bushes might help us a little bit. Binoculars, yeah.
Oh, nice.
Actually, I think I might even have it on my list. But that crest is raised. What was the giveaway for this bird, because it's coming into its adult plumage, was that white bar on the tail. And the very thin face. Bare face. I think I got it. We're waiting for that other bird that we saw now. The birds dislike this one more than other birds, because this is predominantly a bird-eating bird. Common variable skink. Yeah, I hear you, starling. I hear you. I know there's an evil bird in your midst. Not so evil to me, because it doesn't raid my nests. Birchall starling got so much to say about it.
Oh, it's going into the buffalo weaver nest.
Thank you. Sorry, who was that? Elizabeth. Oh, Heather. Heather. Thanks, Heather. I do recall, I haven't got it ticked off, but I somehow do recall having this bird on my list. Did you say
It's
it
gone
to the...
to, yeah, it went to the buffalo weaver nest.
Oh, here in the
Yeah,
in the Portswood. But just in case, because it wasn't ticked off, but that's because there are a number of things on my list that aren't ticked off. There it is. Right there at the buffalo weaver's nest. I'm much lower the camera so I can see it already. So I'm going to have to try and sneak forward and hope that it doesn't move. But now we get some good... No, it's going to fly. You see it yet?
yeah.
But there we have perfect view of its face. I'm surprised the geese aren't really making much noise, but then they're in the water and I doubt whether it's got much chance of doing anything about it. The gosling's in the water. Looking into the buffalo weaver's nest. listening for chicks. This virtual starling, that is. I've seen buffalo weavers carrying sticks to their nest, but I don't think they got babies yet. Hello Sue, asking if we get black eagles at Djuma. No. Also known as Vero's eagle. You will only find them in mountainous, rocky, outcrop terrain. They need cliff faces to nest. They need cliff faces of at least 100 foot. They feed on primates and hyraxes and small antelope. Stunning eagles. My brother has a pair on his farm. In fact, you could sit on the stoep outside the farmhouse and have them fly 20 feet above your head on the way back to the nest across the valley. But that, I doubt whether I'll...
No.
Thanks RC, African Harrier Hawk, aka Gymnogene. Gymnogyps. It's going to start poking around in the nest. Has unique ankle joints, this bird. That can bend through an extra 30 degrees to be able to feel around in nests and in holes in trees. They're able to hang upside down with one foot, one talon, while the other one feels around in holes in trees for baby birds, baby squirrels, geckos. Okay, I want to just go forward because I think there's an animal here in the water that I haven't got, and we just, for the sake of it, going to get it now and tick it off. Leave the babies alone. Okay, just do a quick bye-bye, Gymnogyps. Sorry to disturb, I think it's going to go very far. Being mobbed by lapwing starlings, flown across the dam. Okay, so just a quick look at those other animals. I want to try and get back up to maybe Guaripan for sunset. Not the buffalo that we already have. I want the other ones in the water.
Yeah, I'm on them.
Okay. Hello Gymnogene, coming back our way. Let's try to get away from the starlings that are mobbing it. Okay, that's enough of a look. Everybody knows what those animals are. But I want to know what those animals are.
Road, just north, there's one dam at the one
Thanks, Pinky. Cam and Patricia saying hippo. Okay, there's another one for the list. Quite pretty this afternoon. Now we just need to find ourselves a dead tree or something to emphasize the beauty of an African sunset. We better find it quickly. Central Road, but it's still a little bit far away. Central Road's got a couple of good trees as a foreground piece. So there's no cloud in the sky, but there is down south. There's quite a bit be coming up this way, no doubt. Maybe during the night. Oh, on the bump. Not the best, but it's quite nice. Skeletons of trees can be really beautiful. Welcome to Africa and a beautiful African sunset. Clickety click. Can you see it above that quarry?
Yeah.
It's going through that bit of cloud now makes it look really beautiful. Are you on a tight shot? Or a wide shot? Are you on a tight or a wide shot?
A bit of everything.
Okay. Where to next? Impala Plains. We make our way. We're far over in the east. We need to go to the west. Another northerly wind today. Starting to pick up strong now. Bye, sunshine. I'm going to go now because there might be still one or two spots on this road as we head south that might give us another view just of the afterglow. And I feel obliged to honour the day with a little bit of silence as the sun goes down. See, if we'd come forward we would have got it through this gap, but then we wouldn't have had the tree much. Wow. This is why this is called Drakensberg Drive, looking out at the Drakensberg Mountains in the distance. Beautiful. Okay. Thank you for another day. To remind you that we have to change things around a little bit tomorrow because I have to go to town.
It's the hole.
Oh, your hole. Caroline's hole. See, that's just in the wrong place. So, as I was saying, I've got to go to town tomorrow and I've got to go early because I've got to be there early. Which means that we have to forgo the morning drive. So that I can be back in time for the afternoon drive. I've about 10 or 15 minutes worth of something to do in town, but it's going to take me a better part of 5 hours to do it. And it's got to be done before 10. And I'm worried that if I, well, it's not going to help. If I leave here at 8:30, it means I only get there at 10:30, 11 o'clock, and that's too late in the morning to do it. So I can't try and squeeze it in between drives. Fresh tracks. For those of you who are not aware, Becky had to leave for a couple of days. She had to go back to Thorny Bush to sort out a personal issue. Unfortunately, mine can't wait till next week, till after the end of drives. It has to be done now. I tried to do it last week and I've left it for too long. Cheetah Cut line, we'll go down to Leadwood Road. There's a front. Or should we do Gary Main? Just for a change. Maybe Gary Main. Hello boys. Sorry, did I disturb you mid? I'm in the middle of things. There's a little one running around, just found his legs. Two little ones running around doing their special Impala dance. The mothers are running after them. They must be a few days old already to be running around like that. I've already learnt that dance. Lion drill or leopard drill. Both mothers, and then it looks like the two young females behind them are maybe their lambs from last year. Keeping close. Gonna run again. Actually looked like those females went to fetch the youngsters to bring them back to the herd. It's starting to get a bit dark. Hmm?
Made everybody's eyes go squinty.
The what?
I think I just made everybody's eyes go squinty.
Bye bye everybody, be safe. One, two, at least 4 lambs in this herd. I can bring back Kruger to Canyons tomorrow. So if I can get a few copies for those who bought t-shirts. Hello horses, or should I say equids, equine mammals. Clip, 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 clip. Aha! There are my elephants. Urban tracks crossing south. Could have been those Ellies from this morning. Could have been others. Couple of youngsters. One zebra hoof don't look like it was wearing a shoe. Good night, zebra. Fufunyan, where are you? This is his drainage line on the right. This is part of his territory. Muff Daddy. Slam on brakes. But I saw tracks. number of people have found woodlands kingfishers, but they haven't said anything yet. I don't mean the people, I mean the kingfishers. Haven't said anything yet. They haven't even announced their arrival. They sort of come in incognito. Like ninjas. Silent approach. Now, if I'm not mistaken, there were times when we would hear them first and then see them. Or am I wrong? Last year we heard them before we saw them. More elephant tracks heading south. Well, my elephants from this morning were heading south. That was the Mulwati River. We're on Gari Main, heading west. We're coming up on Baboon Pan on our left, just across our boundary. And to our right we will investigate Twin Dams. At the moment it's a little bit light and not dark enough yet to make things work with the light. I should be able to pick up any eyes if there are any animals to be seen, like Safari the leopard. Tracks of Gari gang that crossed here at Baboon Pan today. Wonder if they hope it's not the last question, but thanks Linda for your question, wanting to know if zebra get a fuzzy coat in winter because it always looks smooth. I have to be honest, I've never noticed any change in the coat in a zebra. There might be in places where it gets cold at night, where the temperature drops considerably, but we don't get that cold here. So with the hot days that we have in our winter time, it would be a bit of a struggle, because they get a warm coat for winter for the night time, but then what do they do on the hot days? They'd suffer with. So a place like this that doesn't get too cold at night, I have to be honest, I have never noticed a change in that coat. Hippo's squaring off at Twin Dams. Maybe we'll just see if I can get to. What was nice was that you get the golden glow in the sky and only lights on them. Can you see there?
Yeah.
Just well, actually it's more silver now. Just the reflection of the sky and the water with the hippos. Now perhaps these are the same two that were. Where was it? Treehouse Dam where you were with those two yesterday? Or Gari Dam? Tara? Treehouse. Okay, let's move along. in that bush is a nocturnal animal that I would love to be able to see. And I'll try and get the light back so that Tara can see the reflection in the eyes.
Yeah, got it. Nice spot.
Okay, I'm trying to find a way to secure the light. How much of it can you see?
Its face, part of its body.
Trying to make squeaky noises that attracts its attention. Some animals it works. Its ears are turning this way. It's listening, but it's not convinced it's anything to come running after to catch.
It's looking more interested in what it was.
Are you getting any reflection in the eye?
Not really, no.
I suppose the light's got to be closer to the camera to get...
Yeah, now we are.
There you go.
Yeah.
Except I can't hold my arm up that long. Okay. Let's watch it for a little bit. We don't get to see them very often. Unless you've been to the lodge for dinner. One at the lodge that had 2 babies. What is that animal? And I have to be honest, I think actually, could you maybe hold the light so I can have a look with my binoculars so that I can see which one it is? They're coming.
I'm gonna have to take the light again.
Climbing through the undergrowth. Oh, sorry, I'm getting caught up here with light and earphone cables and everything. Mark, still. We should be getting to see the body quite well now. Maybe, maybe not.
Yeah, you can see it nicely now. Should be able to see it quite clearly.
Keep quiet. Radio. Can't reach it. Shut it off.
You can hold the light again while she's still.
Let's see how good my image stabilizer works holding it with one hand.
You might hold the light while she's still just grooming herself.
sitting down.
She's just busy grooming herself still.
It looks like she sat down. I can see scratching.
Yeah.
Got fleas.
Yeah, looks like it.
And looks like a white. Oh, beautiful. Black tip to the tail. What doing now? Claws? No. Gone.
Yeah, I think she went to the back.
But there. See? Patience. Wait a little bit. And eventually it comes out in a little bit of woodwork. And we get a lovely view. Oh, look who's in the water. Let's go down there. Two more animals that are nocturnal animals that also have a similar coat to the one we've just seen. They share a common name. No, not a common name. They share a common part of the name. Part of the name is common to all. Oh, guinea fowl, you're a bit late, child. Angle's wrong, but that's one of the youngsters. One of our youngsters. So I'm waiting for two answers from you. First that small animal in the bushes, and then these animals in the water. Good night, guinea fowl. Finally flew into a tree. Leela, hello Lee, and Laurie, and Joanne. Yes, spotted Janet, but which spotted Janet? Oh, but yes, no, we've got hippo. Okay, so you want to go to the one in the water? Leela said small spotted Janet. I don't think it was a small spotted Janet.
No, it
It was
wasn't.
definitely not.
Oh, it's a female with the two notches in her right ear.
Is it her?
Yeah, it looks like it.
Okay. We should call her Mvubu Road female. Oh, look, do you see that nightjar drinking?
Where is it?
Oh no, it's gone. It was just in a straight line. There it is. Just flew over again. In a straight line from me to the hyena in the water. To Mvubu Road female. And beyond. It's like hovering above the water drinking. The nightjar. So where's her other baby? Sorry, and that was from who? Oh, the Hadda. Forget who that is. Asking if we look into the eyes of an animal, I suppose the reflection of the eyes of the animals, can you tell just by looking at the eyes what the animal is? Quite often yes, sometimes no. But quite often, yes. Over time, you get to see, you get an idea of the different heights and distances of different eyes, and also when you get to know the individual animals, you start to learn their body language and their body movements. This animal, for example, when they're walking and you only see the eyes, you can see just the way the head is bobbing what animal they are.
Maybe
Pardon?
I was struggling to keep up with you.
I know, I'm sorry.
I was as bad as yesterday with Becky.
Thanks. Trisha was saying hyenas, but which hyenas? What's up? You're reversing. You're seeing your own shadow. Ah. Rosie, spotted hyena. Bye bye, spotted hyenas. Don't be naughty. Don't be bad to the Janet. Spotted hyena, spotted Janet. Very nice. Oops. Thanks, Sally Slick. I should say a very slick answer from Sally. Large spotted Janet. Black tip to the tail. Now, when the difference between your large spotted and your lesser spotted Janet is not so much in the size of the animal as much as it is in the size of the spots. And the lesser spotted, which I think is Janetta tigrina, or is the large spotted? No, large spotted is Janetta janetta. The small one, the small spotted, or the lesser spotted, has a white tip to the tail. Unless a large spotted Janet loses the end of its tail and it then ends in a white band. Extenuating circumstances. Thank you. Didn't have a sun to look at, but I looked at Jupiter and it helped me sneeze. A bird in the road. And Tara, do you need a Heimlich maneuver, Tara? Choking on an insect. You okay? Choking on water.
No, I think that did swallow.
Laryngeal spasm is what it's called. Water got onto your larynx and it closed because it was going down to your lung.
I think it was one of those little bugs that got down the throat.
Oh, okay. And a bug. At least you had water in your hand to wash it down.
Yeah.
The plight of guides everywhere. Driving at night and talking at the same time. One is bound to get the odd insect flying in the wrong direction. waterbuck. Jane wants to know the long coat of the waterbuck, because it has a longer coat than most other or all other animals, does it maybe come from a colder climate, colder place? No. But it does have something to do with, as far as I'm aware, the fact that they are quite prone to going into the water, and it does help with waterproofing. But normally, you could quite easily equate a longer coat with a colder climate. In fact, there are some theories that some of the lions that have the longest manes have long manes because the climate gets colder in the winter time. They don't shed their mane, but their mane is there to protect the neck, mostly during fighting. But it does have other roles. I mean, it does have quite a strong role with regards to sexual selection by females and testosterone. But there are areas that don't get cold at all in the evenings, and the lion therefore don't need thick manes, or don't get thick manes. I've seen 5-year-old lions with the mane as big as a 2-year-old in East Africa. And then of course they're the famous maneless lions up in Kenya, maneless males. Rather a strange sight to see. 2 of which, I believe, are housed in the Field Museum in Chicago. They're stuffed bodies, taxidermied, what's the word? Stuffed, taxidermied, mounted. Those are the 2 man-eaters that used to eat a couple of humans every day, who were building the railway line from Nairobi to Mombasa. Probably just inspired as eyes on the termite mound of tiny little things, wolf spiders, maybe baby baboon spiders. Try and follow it. Yeah, right. A number of these big antlions flying around. I wish I could find. I had one in FC.
Next one you find, I'll give it a go.
Yeah, no, what is that? Beetle. Look at a wet patch. Buffalo's wet patch. A leaking buffalo. Hello Jojo, wanting to know if spotted genets are solitary. Yes. There was another antlion. I was sitting on a zebra. Yes Jojo, they are pretty solitary. I wouldn't consider them monogamous. Maybe they are, what's the word? Think of the word. Multiple mates, not polygamous, but similar to cats. Hello Buffalo. He stood up when he saw me. Don't want to shine on them. Hoping to find sleeping reptiles in some of these bush willows. Or sleeping birds. Although sleeping birds I won't disturb. See, I'm hoping for even just a reptile on the road. They're having bush bright tonight.
Smells like it.
I can smell meat cooking already here in Philemon's Dip. Boerewors, lamb chops, a little bit of rump steak, chicken kebabs. I'm surprised the hyena aren't lining up here on Philemon's cut line, Philemon's Dip road. This road's never had a name, it's just called Philemon's Dip, but that's the dip behind us. Maybe this is the smell coming all the way from the lodge, because there's nothing happening here at Bushbrae side. It's because that's why it's a northerly wind, you see. That's what makes it so unusual. That's why it's just suddenly realised why we don't normally smell dinner cooking at the lodge, because we normally have a southerly wind or southeasterly wind blowing at north up Mvubu Road. But today, got a very pleasant smell, actually quite a delicious smell of dinner cooking at the lodge, all the way across the open area. Right, one more nocturnal child on the open area, and then oh yeah, supposed to be saying goodbye. So we didn't exactly make it to Sandy Patch and Impala Plains. Oh, the giraffe. Not going to shine on them. They might sleep here on the open area, or rest, or stay, or something. I can't complain. 2 nocturnal animals for our short evening drive. I suppose the hippo can be counted as 1 too. I mean, it can be counted as the third, but 1 plus 2 is 3. Zebra impala, maybe something here around the feet of the impala. Sometimes they are here around the feet of the impala, catching insects that the impala chase up. Excuse me, children coming through. Not tonight, Josephine. Not tonight. Now, who's Josephine, you might ask? I don't know, ask Napoleon. Okay, have to reluctantly call it a day. And quite a nice day it was too. It was a beautiful day because we saw some very nice things. A little bit of rain and a new leopard that we hadn't seen before. My name is Mark, just in case you didn't know that. And Tara's been on camera, just in case you didn't know that. And a new face in Final Control is Yako from the lodge, who does a lot of the marketing and reservations and things, helping us out. And we will see you tomorrow. Unfortunately not in the morning, your evening. You all get to have an early night tomorrow night. We will see you at 4 o'clock Central African time tomorrow, however. Tara will be back on drive. And entirely my fault that we're not driving in the morning. I'm sorry about that. We'll make it up to you somehow. And well, bye everybody, and see you tomorrow. Jupiter and Antares is quite close to, Venus.